What's up? We are live on a Tuesday at St. Patrick's Day Eve. What more could you ask for out of life? I don't think you can ask for anything more. Doing an early show today. Back in the day, we started the show at 3, then we moved to 5, and then now we're back to 3, at least for today. But it's St. Patrick's Day Eve. We have a big show coming up. The fellas, the brothers in Holiday State will be on the program. Excited to chat with them about a whole bunch of stuff. They are getting back into busy. It's a good place to be, especially after the year that was 2020 and subsequently the year that is 2021. But we're chatting with the brothers, Brandon, Brett, and Brian, coming up here in under 5 minutes. That'll kick off at 3 o'clock, so looking forward to it. Thank you all for joining us early on the show. Facebook Live on the Cooperville Live page. We're also on YouTube. Search for Cooperville. Jump on board there. Make sure you subscribe. And on Twitch, No Limit Cooper. All one word. Or twitch.tv/No Limit Cooper. We have a Patreon thing. We're doing some exclusive things on our Patreon, so you can join up there. Content, videos, live streams, podcasts, the audio, all the stuff. You get access to it. And we are working on the Cooperville Clothing Company launching apparel, and that will be exclusively available to start for our Patreon patrons. So feel free to jump on board that. 3 different tiers. Good times to be had by all. Get on it. Took the day off of work today. Got a nice run in. Actually did a podcast this morning. I host a podcast for Rockfest. Chatting about things. Looking forward to the festivals coming up here this summer. Thank God. Thank God they're coming back. Live music needs to make a triumphant return, and it is going to. And it shall. So that was exciting. Got a nice run in today. It's been weird. So we had like 60-degree temperatures over the weekend, and then we had like 2 inches of snow that fell. And so I posted a running video like Monday, and it was beautiful. And then one this morning, and there's snow on the ground. Schizophrenic March, man. Schizophrenic, but it's all good. It's a great day to be here. It's a great day to have you all here. Thank you for joining. Remember, you can join in the comments. If you have questions for the brothers in Holiday State, feel free. Ask them in the comments, whether that's over there, or it's up there, or it's down there. Wherever you're watching, depending on your format, you are free to do so. So please do so. Join on in. I see the fellows are in the green room hanging out. Let's bring them on in. I was excited to get these boys on, talk about music, talk about life and experiences, and how functionally it works having 3 brothers in one group, and everybody is still seems to have all their fingers and toes. The boys from Holiday State are here. We are live. The party has just begun. Hello, fellas.
Oh, what's going on, man? How are you?
The dream. We're just living it. How about you guys?
Same thing. Something like that, you know. I knew.
And we got you all in the same room. This is has it been a while since you guys have all been in the same room together? I know you guys were all coming to meet in Nashville for some stuff going on the next couple of days. So
it's been like 3 months, huh?
Yeah, it's been a few months,
Yeah. Last time we were together was actually when we were in Nashville, which is like 3 months ago. So
is it good to be reunited? Is it reunited and it feels so good?
No, I hate these guys.
Good. I want to get down to brass tacks and honesty right away on the show. It's like going to be a therapy session.
Right?
There it is.
But no, such a cool story with you guys, and I want to get into all of it. But I know you got a show coming up tomorrow. That's got to feel good to get back and be in live music, and it looks like a great lineup tomorrow on St. Patrick's Day. So everybody just take Thursday off. But it feels good to you guys ready to get back on stage?
Oh yeah, we can't wait. This is our first live show in a year with an actual audience.
Yeah.
So yeah, cruise out to the Nashville Palace. We got Chase Rice, Seaforth, a bunch of good artists out there. So it'll be a fun one.
Did you is it going to be easy to kick the dust off a little bit? I mean, do you feel like you're in a good headspace to get back on and you had some calisthenics?
I guess we'll see tomorrow night.
My back hurts a little bit, but We'll see. Warm the vocals up a little bit.
I know you guys. Yeah, you got a live stream coming up tonight too, an acoustic live stream. You got a busy 24 hours here, so that maybe that's the warm up is get the vocal cords warmed up tonight with an acoustic set, and then tomorrow full high.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
So growing up in, you guys came from Orange County, California. I know, but you have roots and family from Hawaii, and so a lot of influences growing up. And a lot of genres in reading up on you guys. And I think you can feel that influence in a lot of your music. It's not just specifically, straight down the line, country. There's obviously pop influence, there's R&B influence. But growing up, tell me about like the musical that you were exposed to as youngsters and that led you into to a career of, hey, let's do music for a living and see if we can keep each other on the straight and narrow.
Right. I think we first started, our parents played a lot of R&B around the house. So, my dad was a big disco fan, so he was always playing like the Gap Band,
Motown,
a lot of Motown stuff, Lionel Richie, Janet Jackson, stuff like that. My mom was more into the country side of things, so she was playing like Dolly Parton, like Kenny Rogers and stuff like that. But I don't know, our love for music started kind of with family gatherings. We were always playing, island music and stuff like that. So our grandma and her sisters were all professional hula dancers at the Royal Hawaiian on Oahu. So we kind of got, into music because of that. That was like the first time, hearing music around the holidays and different family gatherings and stuff. So that's really kind of how it started for us.
And when does the decision come when you sitting around at one of these family gatherings? Like, how does it? Do you have open that conversation up with one another, saying, "Hey, I'm thinking about pursuing music. Like, are we all in? Did it start off as a one person thing? Was everybody in from the get, or was it did it kind of evolve over time into everybody was on board with?
Started with him. Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those things. I think Brandon, you were kind of doing he was doing his own solo career, like his little solo project with some rapper guy and stuff. So he was doing his thing, and then I was playing a little bit guitar with a little band on our street. And then eventually we came together, the two of us, me and Brandon, and we did a little project together. And then we decided to bring in Brett as well, and we just wanted to make it a family brother trio thing. So it kind of works out better with the brothers than other guys that aren't dedicated.
Yeah, this guy was. He was busy in college and getting his degree and all that. So he's the business guy.
So someone's got to handle the money, the finances, and all the business side of things. So
that's good. It's good to have someone like that in the group. Someone you can go, yeah, that's his department.
Yeah, he's the brains of the group.
All the negotiating, all the conversations, it all goes through me.
That's good. You have to have good representation, and if it's somebody that there's bloodline shared with, all the better. Because then if he messes it up, well, you know who to go to.
Yeah, we can just beat him up.
To try.
So I want to talk about musical influences because I think you guys, like I mentioned, all the different genre sounds that find its way into your music. But for you guys, who would you say that were the artists? Outside of the ones that your parents were introducing you to, which is that's a great baseline of artists that you got exposed to at a young age. But who were the artists that you heard that you kind of started to kind of tap into? Like, I kind of like what they're doing here. I kind of like this aspect of it. Like, who were you cherry picking the talent from as you guys were kind of making the move to solidify the group?
Yeah, I think for me was what really got me into singing was Boyz II Men. Because I was always singing their stuff. Once Backstreet Boys came along, I was really into that whole pop scene. And then once I heard Rascal Flatts, I was like, all right, let's go pop country. And so I was super into that for them.
Yeah, for me, I kind of always started on the country side of things growing up. So goes back to honestly, my first girlfriend back in I think 6th grade introduced me to the Dixie Chicks or the Chicks, and kind of started there. And it really just jumped into a lot of the, Keith Urban, Rascal Flatts type stuff. And then he really liked the melodies that went with a lot of the Kane Browns, the FGLs and all that type of stuff. So I could let him speak to that. But yeah, I didn't get into that till a little bit later down the line. I was kind of more into the band side of things, kind of the pop rock alternative, like Newfound Glory, Sum 41, Good Charlotte, all those good old days. But that's kind of what got me started. And then eventually I started
going to, like, line dancing with this guy. We would go to a line dancing spot and got into hearing like Alan Jackson and George Strait all the time. And then eventually came Florida Georgia Line and Kane Brown, and listened to a lot of Keith Urban and stuff. So that kind of led us into that.
Sam Hunt.
Sam
Hunt. He's a big influence for us.
So.
Sam Hunt can't do anything wrong. I mean, that dude just.
We were just listening to him the other day, and we were listening to one of his songs and he just does his talking. And we're like, how is his voice so cool just talking, you know?
Yeah.
We tried
Like,
yeah. Oh, like, all right, our voice doesn't work.
Like, only he can make that sound cool. Like, the whole
right?
talking and then singing, like, it just works.
I wonder. I want to like be a fly in the wall when he's doing his songwriting process. Be like, nah, you know, I was gonna sing this line. Nah, I'm just gonna talk it.
Yeah, it's just as cool. So whatever works with him.
Yeah, everything that he's like dipped in gold. Like you go through his Spotify playlist, and you're like, wait a minute, I thought that song was Kenny Chesney. I thought that song was Keith Urban. Oh wait, Sam Hunt wrote all that stuff. He was
right.
I had some time. I thought I'd write this song. Oh.
Yeah, he's a genius.
He like disappears for like 6 months, like nothing on Instagram, and all of a sudden it's like Sam Hunt's coming out with a song. The whole world is going crazy.
Yeah, he's like never on social media, and then he just like, bam, comes at you with like the finest country pop music like ever. Like, it's crazy.
And the ladies love him too. The ladies, not a bad position to be in.
All right.
I think that's hearing about musical influences. I think it's so cool that they're all different. You know, it's not like you were all super duper into one particular sound, and all that influence comes in. And I think it really creates something that's unique to and I won't say genreless, because I do think that you have you're on the road, but it can flow. We pay taxes in both lanes, so you can kind of switch back and forth. And I think it's got it's up tempo, it's groove, it's got killer bass lines in it. It's such a great sound. And I think that OC thing though, here's what I'm picturing in my head. Like, nobody has ever, until maybe this interview or perhaps early ones you did, associated line dancing with Orange County, California. It's never happened before. Like, people are going, wait, what? They did that there? Where was this place at? I want to know who was in charge of that show.
You'd be surprised, man. There's a big following of country music and line dancing out in Orange County. We got a bunch of different spots that probably on every night of the week you'll find a couple thousand people there, and it's always a good time, a lot of good fun. People drinking, eating, dancing. It's a spot to go to.
This guy knew like every dance too.
Yeah, he knows all the dances. Every Thursday night he was there. Line dancing? All right, let's do this.
I originally went because I was like, the girl to guy ratio was like 20 girls to every guy. So just sense. So I finally told everybody else, like, you guys are missing out. You guys better check this out. And at the time.
How long do you hold on to that secret? How long do you hold on to the secret that it's like 6 to 1?
It's out now. Yeah. You go there, it's 1 for 1 now.
Like, damn it, I should have kept it to myself. Oh, man.
Right? 100%.
I remember a huge Gary Allen fan. I remember Gary Allen, also a California, guy, big into surfing. And I remember that was like one of those things that when I found out that he was from California, early on in his career, I was like, wow, that's really strange. Here's a guy wearing a cowboy hat from California. Like, the associations, it's the same thing with the line dancing in the OC, but it's really cool to see that. And I'm sure you guys, because you go back and forth from Nashville a lot, you can see how Nashville has become kind of this hub where it's not just the locals that are there, not just people from Oklahoma that make the drive up. I mean, people are coming in from all over the country and bringing, their sound from their area is starting to travel there too and influence kind of the scene in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. It's a spot to be, man. We love it here.
And it's become so much more than just country in Nashville. Nashville's become kind of the hub for all genres. And I'm sure you guys can attest to that as well, that it's not just, yes, it's the country music capital of the world, but it's also got blues and rock and R&B and hip hop. It's just amazing how that city has just blossomed into this music mecca.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the change over my first time out here was probably roughly 10 years ago. To see where it's come just as far as development, not only in music, but in construction and all. It's just,
it's coming up.
It's completely different. So I can imagine living out here, you just see a huge change, but it's changing for the good. So
yeah, and sport teams too. Like I'm sure there'll be a baseball team here soon.
Hopefully they could use a baseball, basketball team. It's a good city for it.
Yeah, and I love that the support for the for Nashville sports seems to have upped its game every time they add a new sports franchise. It's, you see, Tim McGraw's walking around with a hockey jersey on, and you're like, they really embrace that city, and so much so they're like, oh, they had kind of the adopted team of Nashville, which is
right.
Why there's not a baseball team in Nashville, I don't know yet.
I know, right?
Through time, right?
So when you Nashville's always had, it's weird. I've never been there, but I've obviously have a lot of contacts down there. I have a lot of friends down there, being 20 years in the radio industry. I had the softest spot for Nashville right before COVID hit, because I had an interview lined up, a live podcast lined up with an artist down there. It was the day the tornado hit.
Oh man.
And, so we had to reschedule all that. And then like 2 weeks later, the entire city gets closed down, obviously for COVID.
Right.
Do you guys know, I mean, just how much is that community tied in to one another? It seems like there's always helping hands. There's always the vibe there is always positive. There was never a lot of negativity coming out of Nashville. Do you guys feel that when you get a chance to get back down there, that this is really a tight community, but always open arms and welcome for newcomers to come in?
Yeah, I mean, you could see it everywhere. Whether you go to just different bars, restaurants, even like our producer we work with, always their church and everybody, they're always lending a helping hand and helping out, whether it's the bombing that happened here, recently, the tornado, COVID. It's just, it truly is Southern hospitality at its finest. I feel when you come through here, and it's kind of
just embrace you.
Yeah, you embrace it. I mean, coming from LA and Orange County, where it's a cool spot, but a lot of times people won't help you out if you're stranded on the side of the road and you can't walk. So who cares? They fly right by you.
It's a little different.
Here it's completely different. So it's kind of in our blood to be that way. So we blend in very well when we come out here.
I know over the last year, you guys have you've gotten some new music out. Lay Low is the latest single, but I've also seen that there's work back in the studio, new music being worked on at the same time. What have you guys really taken the last year? I'm going to say off, because not many artists took the year off, but their one big aspect was obviously touring, getting a chance to be out and doing shows in front of fans. What have you guys spent the majority of 2020 and into 2021 working on?
Zoom calls. A lot of live streams, Insta Live with our fans, Zoom calls, a lot of writing, working on demos. Yeah, it's been a lot of writing. So we got a lot of new music coming out this year.
It was mainly just trying to put a lot of stuff together in that whole downtime for the whole year, basically, so that when it opens back up again, we could be ready with new music that we got in the studio with, and got some new songs that we're ready to release out, and kind of just working on our craft and getting that ready for when the world opens back up.
Yeah, because in last February, we opened up for Logan Mize up in Kuna, Idaho, and Spokane, Washington. And we're like, all right, this is going to be a good year, good start. And then all of a sudden after that, it's like it shut down. So we're like, wow, like, what do we do now? So, yeah, I think it started off with just a lot of, chilling and Netflix and all that, and just kind of hanging out with the family and stuff. And then you're like, all right, it's getting weird. It's just boring. There's nothing to do. So it's like, so we get on Zoom calls, we'd write, and try and figure out where we want to go with new songs. There was a lot of writing material, especially with what the world was going through and stuff. So, yeah, 2020 was definitely a learning experience and taught everybody a lot of patience. So we're glad that, we're here in 2021, get out and tour hopefully soon. So
do you feel like because of the downtime, kind of, but obviously still hard at work and putting music together, do you think because of the state of things that it does have an effect on your songwriting, that maybe it's not directionally, maybe sound wise, but that there's a little more influence from your perspective of the world and all the craziness that's going on in the last 15 days to flatten the curve is now 1 year anniversary of that. Do you feel like it's had an impact on some of your songwriting just because of the state of the world, the way that has been, and some of the divisions, and then some of the, obviously there's some unity coming up as well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we would never write about, like this type of, being away from your family members, not being able to see them, or, be around your loved ones. You would get on a plane, let's go, see our family. But being in that situation where you couldn't do that and couldn't see your loved ones or your friends, and it puts you in a spot where you're writing, you really feel, the pain and how close it is to you. Like, and I think that changed with our writing, significantly.
It allowed us to really, kind of tighten things up, master our craft even more, and really just focus on writing with a purpose as opposed to just writing. No offense to other artists, but I hear other artists saying, "Yeah, I wrote 300 songs over COVID," and it's just like, that sounds a little bit crazy. For us, like, it was a matter of like mastering and having, some purpose behind 15 to 20 songs, and having that ready for laying it down in the studio and taking it out on the road with us, and really just, having more powerful tracks and things that just hit home a little bit more, or people can just vibe off of. So
just getting it right.
We just tightened that up a little bit. So it was kind of a blessing at the same time.
I think that's a great way to look at it, is that you have to find a silver lining in all things that are, struggles for a lot of people, artists, especially. I think, the music industry, as far as economically and how that machine functions, that got hit the hardest. It was the first to get shut down. And as we've kind of seen, it's really will be one of the last to actually get back up to full steam and things like that. But to utilize that time to focus and to hone in on your craft and to make improvements, that's stellar. I mean, I think that's when you have those kind of opportunities that you wouldn't normally get, because I'm sure if it had been a regular year, you were talking about being out in February on the road, and it was just going to be, all right, cool, let's get after it. Let's get these live shows booked. And but to have a chance to step back and really embrace the songwriting process and find meaning in it and find perfection in it, man, if you're writing 300 songs in 300 days,
power to you. But
I'm not sure how many of those are going to make the album. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Unless you're Sam Hunt, and probably all of them.
Throw 290 of those away.
unless you're Sam Hunt, then they're all probably number one hits. Like
exactly.
And stuff in the gold pile. I know you got the show coming up tomorrow. Have you guys got the feelers out as far as like kind of the rest of the year, what the landscape looks like? It's so weird. State to state's different. I mean, Texas is like the Wild West again. It's like we're open. They're like, come on in, great state of Texas. We're gonna have shows, and we're gonna to hell with the consequences. They don't care.
Right.
But is it? Do you guys have kind of some feelers out there to see kind of what's on the horizon, what's going to be available as far as getting back out and being able to put some of these new songs out into the ears of a live audience?
Yeah, we're working on it. We know that California is probably going to be one of the last places to do live concerts. So we're not really looking to, book too many shows there right now. I mean, there's not really opportunities for that. But as far as, anywhere else, we're up for playing and just looking to get the schedule, set. A lot of it is still up in the air for us, but we definitely want to keep releasing singles. I think towards later in the spring is when we'll release our next single and probably shoot a video for that one. So just want to keep the singles coming and putting out new music, and just, as time goes on, as things open up more and more, then definitely get out to those shows and start playing live, as many live shows as we can get. So, and we do all the booking ourselves too. So
we've been hit up by a couple different artist managers and stuff that got things somewhat locked in all different states throughout the country, that they're saying, we got them dialed in, but it's not 100% sure. So if it does go, be ready. We'll give you, a couple weeks to a month ahead of time, as far as heads up goes. But so a couple good shows on the horizon, as long as it, continues to go and progress in the right direction. So we just can't say stuff because it's not 100% locked yet. But, we're there. It's just a waiting game now.
Yeah, I know that's got to be the tough part as an artist, especially if you're doing your own booking, is that waiting game. And but I'm sure you guys can turn around and get ready for a live show in a couple of weeks. So you'd be fine with that. But
it shouldn't be a problem.
24 hours should be good.
Yeah. What are we doing on Thursday? Well, it's post St. Paddy's Day, maybe nothing. But Friday we're open. And I think the fans, and being a music fan myself and a lover of live concerts and being involved in a couple of music festivals, the fans that are missing out on live music is their therapy, and I'm sure it's yours too. I mean, all the artists I talk to, they say we understand the fans are they're clawing at the walls of their house if they're still in a state of safer at home. But artists too. I mean, imagine even tomorrow, the first time a fan has been to a show and how long, and the first time artists have been out in front of them in so long. I mean, the energy in that room. I mean, it could combust, which is a good thing.
I think the show sold out in like a day.
Yeah, it was pretty.
It just sold out pretty fast. So,
and that's the beauty of it. We could go up on stage and just stand there and not even do anything, and people will just be happy that some kind of live music going on. So we can't go wrong, honestly.
It's a win-win for everybody. We're so excited to see you.
We don't care what it sounds like or who it is.
It'll probably be more of a mellower show because it's all acoustic. Everybody's playing acoustic sets. But once we get the full band back together and that first show, man, I'm gonna be doing like backflips off the stage. Man, I was so thankful to be out here playing for you guys,
No injuries. Let's not no injuries.
Yeah.
Let's knock on wood. We don't need any on the first show back. I know. I think it's gonna be fantastic to get these shows back going. It's therapeutic for everybody that's involved, and for you guys to have a year's worth of music that you've been working on. Obviously you can perfect it as much as you can in the studio, but to take it out and perform it in front of people, I mean, that's where the magic happens. And I'm sure you guys have repeatedly witnessed that at live shows. Do have an interesting question, because music, obviously from you guys, has been an influence from a very young age. It's always been something that's been a part of your lives, and it led you into careers in music. But if it wasn't music, like what would each of you be doing? Would it be like holiday construction? Like, like where would the avenues have taken you if it wasn't for the opportunity to be a part of the music industry? Would you guys be doing completely different things or doing something together? What do you think?
Well, I played basketball and baseball in college, so for me it was kind of going down that route potentially, whether it would have been professionally here or overseas. So it was just kind of going down that path. But I don't know about for these guys. I would have gone the sports route.
For me, it'd be something with animals, like maybe a veterinarian or something. I love animals. I have a cat at home. He's my baby boy. So cats, dogs, all sorts of animals I love. So I think probably something within that field.
For me, I don't know. Like I would say like Brett with like sports or something too. Like been like in the golf and baseball, basketball and stuff forever. I'm a little too short for basketball, I think, but something along those lines would be cool. But I'm also into like all the technology stuff and building websites and doing all that fun stuff. So maybe something along those lines.
Off-roading,
dirt biking. I'm into snowboarding, all that type of stuff.
It's got a razor and everything. That thing's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Little action off-road sports and stuff would be pretty fun to get into. Like you get all the monster signs and stuff behind you, but it'd be pretty yeah. So
no, I think and it's great to have, I think, other things that you have passion for. I mean, I'm sure, you're still doing, obviously you have the baby boy, the cat, there's still some sports aspect of it. Obviously you're out ripping on the razor, and your brothers are like, please don't hurt yourself. We have a show to do on St. Patrick's Day. It'd be great if you didn't roll it this time.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you guys have, is there like a pre-show ritual that you guys take part in? Is there anything, I don't want to say weird, because let's,
it's kind of stupid. Our pre-show ritual is kind of stupid.
Yeah. Well, you would know if you're a big fan of Saved by the Bell, so then people would know. But
yeah, growing up, we watched Saved by the Bell. It was like our favorite show. So there was an episode. Did you watch Saved by the Bell at all, or no?
I did as a youth. I think every young man watched Saved by the Bell. They had to, because Tiffany Amber Thiessen and
God.
It was like,
yeah. So there's an episode where Mr. Belding is hanging out with Zach, Screech, and Slater, and he wants to be part of their guys' crew. So they have this thing where they're like, all right, 1, 2, 3, guys, and like it was in one of it's like one of their episodes. We were at a show one time. We just randomly did it, and then every show after that, we just do that. It's like, all right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, guys. Yeah, that sounds dumb.
Like, what are we doing? Let's get out of the already.
It's not weird at all. I think it's perfectly acceptable. You know.
You remember? You probably don't remember that episode. But
I don't remember that episode in particular, but I remember the big influence that Saved by the Bell had on. It was that interesting look into high school life, and they had all different characters that fit everybody's like high school profile. They had obviously you had the nerd, and you had rock, and you had the super cool like GQ Suave dude, and in Zach Morris, and then Tiffany Amber Thiessen, and then who was the girl that went off and did Showgirls? Who was that?
Oh, Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse Spano.
Yeah.
Jesse Spano.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was, and then they have the reboot. You guys watch the reboot? As like
I didn't watch. I watched one episode and I was like, "This isn't Saved by the Bell."
I'm not even giving into it. No way.
Yeah.
Too corny.
Yeah, I didn't either. I'm like, wait a minute, who's not? Okay, no.
Yeah.
They're
Right.
kids. This is not going to be as good as it was back in the
No way.
90s. No.
We'll pass.
And R.I.P. to
Yeah.
Dustin Diamond.
Screech.
That's crazy, man.
I would never guess in a million years that he would pass that young, but
It's been a crazy year for those kind of things, and I think you had this. I mean, the greatest guitar player of all time in Eddie Van Halen passing, and just all these musical icons that have passed and artists that have passed. It's and obviously that's just the people that everybody knows.
Mhm.
It's just been a year, like and
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe. Yeah, that I've talked about that. I said, do you realize that that's when everything kind of started? Was Kobe passed and the world was just like, whoa, like Mamba forever,
Yeah.
Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe.
For us, our grandpa passed on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
And so 2020 started off just absolutely horrible for us because we were super close with our grandpa. And then once COVID came, and then Kobe, and then it just one thing after another, and it was just all just downhill.
Got some comments coming in here. My buddy Adrian Patrick, who's from Vegas. He remembers that episode vividly. Actually, he kicked it one night with Dennis Haskins.
No way.
At Body English in Vegas.
That's awesome.
Mr. Belding was laying on Zach Morris's bed. They had pizza.
That's hilarious. Dude, I remember Body English too.
Yeah, Hard Rock Hotel.
Oh yeah,
That's so funny.
My Vegas boys from the band. Otherwise, Adrian Patrick hanging out on Facebook. So, but no, it's been such a crazy year, and everybody has. I kind of mentioned that pent up energy that everybody has. Live music is going to revive all of that. That whole, everybody's kind of on edge. Even when you walk through a store, if you can we still walk through stores? Okay, we can still walk through stores. But everybody's just kind of got this, like, they hold on to the shopping cart with a little more grip.
Yeah.
Like, you need a live show, my friend. You
Exactly.
need live music.
Or you put your arms on the shopping cart like this, like I do, and I push it around.
Scared.
It gets away from you, and you're like, oh, so you can't. Sorry, you can't see me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we swipe it on and everything.
Got your spray. Yeah,
Dude, full hazmat suit. Come on, let's go full hazmat suit. Then you're good. I was tempted to get the Mandalorian helmet and just like wear that around.
Yeah,
right.
Respirator on there as well.
I thought it was going to come down to that.
Maybe we missed out on a marketing opportunity there. Like, man, we should have got on as like full on respirator Mandalorian helmets, and then nobody be the wiser. We'd just be living in Star Wars in real life. That's awesome. Well, hey guys, I want to say, thanks for getting on the hang and talking music and life with us. And I'm so excited the fact that you guys are getting back out to do a show. I know that you're probably just over the moon, ready to get back and see human beings out in an audience. Got relief.
Yeah.
Not just singing to a camera. Like, all right,
you gotta put a face on top of the camera so it feels like you're talking to someone. Yeah, this is good.
Singing in your underwear, just have a shirt and a hat on.
Yeah, there you go. There's your friendly reminder for tomorrow's show. Everybody remind one another to put pants on.
Yeah.
There you
You're
go.
required.
He's in his boxes right now.
Man, I work from home. It's all good. No, it's all good. Holiday State, gonna pull the website up here. We got it all set right there. Look at that. Look at those fellas on there. That's the website, holidaystate.com, with all the info. And been great chatting, guys. Been great chatting. And
thanks, man. Good talking with you. Thanks for having us on. Appreciate it.
And hopefully we get you up in this neck of the woods for a show. We got a couple big music festivals that
we'd love to see. That'd be great. We'd love to. Definitely.
Holiday State, best of luck on the show, guys. Can't wait to hear the new music coming out later on this year. And pants on for the show tomorrow.
Thanks, brother. Thanks, Cooper. Appreciate it.
Guys, Holiday State right there live on the show. Big thanks to them for hanging out. They got a busy night. They got a night tonight. They're doing a live stream. Check out their Instagram page for the link to that. Also on Facebook. And then tomorrow, big showdown in Nashville with Chase Rice doing some acoustic stuff. And you got to hope for the best that things open back up and we can get back out to doing shows. I know AP, who's hanging out here, my boy, Adrian Patrick. Yeah. They got some shows coming up. Hey, AP, if you're still hanging out, dude, we were talking about the weather. Remember we had you on? We were talking about the weather in Wisconsin come April. It was been beautiful. It's like 60 and sunny the last couple of days, and then it snowed it snowed last night into this morning. So we got a couple inches of snow. But it looks like the foreseeable future as far as the weather goes. We're talking about some warmer temps. So when the otherwise boys roll through town into the great state of Wisconsin coming up in just a couple of weeks, the weather will be appropriate for those, especially Joe. I know Joe is worried about, not you, Joe, different Joe, worried about the temperatures. My buddy Joe is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for tuning in over there on YouTube. Holiday State, thanks to those guys for jumping in on the show. We had scheduled the show, scheduled their appearance on the show back when we were doing it live from 3 to 5. And then, the show moved till 5 o'clock. And they obviously have rehearsal for the show tonight, and then they got the show tomorrow. And so I'm like, we'll make it happen. We'll jump on at 3 and do the damn thing. So we'll take a short break. We'll run through the headlines, and then we will wrap things up for a Tuesday, St. Patrick's Day Eve. Almost time to start the celebrating. Open the presents. You get one present on St. Patrick's Day Eve. Usually it's Guinness and a shot of Jameson, and then you go on to the next day. We'll take a break, and we will do headlines after this. And we're back on Cooperville Live. Thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to jump in the comments on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on Twitch, and join the conversation. It's got a few minutes left here. We're going to run through the headlines and again say thank you to Brandon, Brett, and Brian from Holiday State for joining the show. Lay Low is their latest single, but they got new music coming out very soon, and they've been working diligently on that over the course of the pandemic. So we're going to have some great live music from them coming up very soon, and live shows as well. Check out that live stream coming up tonight, and then they have a show tomorrow down in Nashville. We have found, and this is the headlines portion of the show, the cosmetic megastructure that may be the key to resurrection and immortality. It's called the Dyson Sphere. Have you heard about this? I'll read you the story. This comes from Popular Mechanics. Russian researchers have outlined several ways technological resurrection may be possible in the future, including a method called digital immortality, restoration based on recordings. What? In this method, super intelligent AI uses the cosmic Dyson Sphere megastructure to harness computing energy from the sun. Humans can't yet build the Dyson Sphere yet, but researchers say the nano robots could one day do the job. Now imagine, in the far, far future, long after you've died, you eventually come back to life. So will everyone else who's ever had a hand in the history of human civilization. In this scenario, returning from the dead is the relatively normal part. The journey home will be a hell of a lot weirder than the destination. Here's how it will go down, just in case you're wondering what your future looks like after you die and you come back. Cool. A megastructure, the Dyson Sphere, will provide a super intelligent artificial agent with enormous amounts of power needed to collect as much historical and personal data about you so it can rebuild your exact digital copy. Once it's finished, you'll live your whole life again in a simulated reality. And when the time comes for you to die again, you'll be transported into a simulated afterlife, a la Black Mirror's San Junipero. I did not see Black Mirror, did I? Maybe I did. Where you get to hang out with your friends, family, and favorite celebrities forever. What? What now? So you have Russian scientists working on this Dyson sphere, which first I thought was like, isn't that like the vacuum Dyson sphere? No, something different. So they bring you back in like an AI. It is. It's the Matrix. It's the Matrix, but you're dead, and they bring you back, and then you live in AI, and then when you die again, you go and live in AI, in alternate universe, but you're still conscious, but you're a robot. Where does one sign up for such a thing? The weird thing is about it, as they explain in this popular mechanics story, is that you'll already be dead, right? So you die, and then somehow, some way in the future, they just bring you back as like this superhuman AI simulated reality thing, and you live your life again, and then you die again, and then you get to live in an afterlife where it's just like everybody you know. So it's like life, but after you die. What will the Catholics say about this? That's the question. Like, wait, no, that's not how it goes. Super weird though, right? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing theoretical technology. But the weird thing is you won't have like a choice in the matter. Like someone someday just down the road, or nanorobots or something, will just be like, that one. Bring everybody back to life. Just do it all over again. Like, it'd be cool if you knew, right? It'd be super cool if you knew and you could make the choices appropriate to live your best alternate reality life. You'd be like, here's the list of things I shouldn't have done. Maybe you should bury yourself with that. Perhaps that's the idea. Bury yourself with a list of the shit that you wish you wouldn't have done and the shit you should have done. And then be like, oh, yeah. Come back like, there's that Post-it note. Oh, man, I got to remember. Don't drive that night. Okay, cool. Check. Super weird. But I love science, man. But just odd. It's an odd thing to think about. Not so odd is the fact that there are cities in the country that are willing to pay you to move there. You've seen this. This comes from CNBC. Dozens of cities offering up to $16,000 in cash incentives, home buying allowances, tax credit, and money towards local goods and services in the hopes of enticing pandemic movers to relocate there. MakeMyMove.com is an online directory launched last December, aims to connect remote workers with such offers around the country. So because everybody can basically work from home now, and you want to live in BFE or wherever, there are cities that are trying to entice people to move there by offering up some cash. Crazy. For example, Baltimore, Maryland will pay you $5,000 towards your down payment on a new home. In Northwest Alabama, you can get $10,000 in cash over the course of a year if you are accepted into its relocation program. Hello, Alabama. I could do Bama. Bama's got some beautiful beaches. I don't know if anybody really realizes that, but there's really some beautiful beaches in southern Alabama. Of course, this is in Northwest Alabama, so maybe it sucks more. The high end, one of the most generous offers comes from Southwest Michigan, 90 miles from Chicago, where new Michigan residents can get a $15,000 forgivable grant over the course of 3 years after buying a home in a qualifying zip code. You can also choose additional perks like free gym membership, co-working space membership, or a transit pass for a year. The site also has a design your own feature where remote workers can list their ideal location as well as relocation incentive packages. MakeMyMove.com co-founder Evan Hawk says he and his team can then talk to local economic development programs to create new opportunities where there is demand. Money talks, man. Money talks. I moved to Nashville. I'm moving just outside of Nashville, find a nice spot just outside of town. You know, be 15, 20 minutes away from the hub and just be able to come back and chill, have the studio. Maybe have the studio in Nashville. That'd be cool. Build the studio downtown Nashville. Maybe a window facing so you could have like guests on and then we do live stream. That's a good idea. I'm going to check this MakeMyMove.com. I want to move to Nashville and I want about 30 grand. Let's see if we can make that happen. All right, make my move. Write that down. So if you're looking to relocate, if you're maybe working remotely from home, your job doesn't matter where you live now. That's a new thing. Everybody's on Zoom calls. The Holiday State guys are talking about. We've been on Zoom calls and live streams for the last year. Opportunity is out there. Opportunity is out there. So we're going to wrap up the show for today. I got about 45 minutes in, and big thanks again to the guys in Holiday State. Go check out all their social medias at Holiday State on the Instagram. Look for them on Facebook. HolidayState.com is the website. We had that up earlier. You can check them out. And the new song, Lay Low, is out now. So go jam to that. Great music. They're doing cool things too. They're really like releasing singles, and it's not the old machine of we got to put an album together. They're dropping music, man, when they have it. So hopefully we can get them back out and doing some live shows coming up in the near future. So back on the show tomorrow, starting at 5 p.m. This was kind of a one-off thing for St. Paddy's Eve. Tomorrow, I got making corned beef and cabbage and baby red potatoes. There's Guinness, there's some Killian's, there's some Jameson. It may all flow into the show tomorrow. It may all be a part of it. So if you can't come on and celebrate your St. Paddy's Day, jump on here. We'll sing some Irish songs. Maybe we won't, but we'll have some corned beef and cabbage. We'll have some Guinness. We'll have some Jameson, and we'll call it a St. Paddy's Day. So join us tomorrow, 5 p.m. on Facebook, on YouTube, and on the Twitch. Until then, take care of yourselves and one another. We see you soon.